What's up, everybody? I'm Sydney Goodman, and in today's Daily Fix, the Final Fantasy VII Remake has some explaining to do, Resident Evil 3's knife gets an upgrade, and Mario might get kicked out of your dreams. Roll the thing! The Final Fantasy VII Remake is a-comin', and we recently got some more news in the form of an interview with the director of the original Final Fantasy VII and producer of the upcoming remake, Yoshinori Kitase. In an interview with the Square Enix blog, Kitase talked about why Remake is episodic. He explained that in order to replicate everything from the original game in the highest quality possible, without cutting content and also adding new elements, the game had to be over multiple installments. Kitase said, quote, "Essentially, to make a single release viable, the resulting game would have ended up being a digest of the original story. And we didn't think that fans would be pleased with that." He's right. Fans absolutely would not have been pleased with that. The first release in the remake project comes out April 10th and contains the Midgar portion of the original game. And based on Kitase's statements, it will feature everything in the original plus new zones to explore. Kitase explained, quote, "There were a lot of parts in between sections of Midgar that were implied but never seen." He goes on to explain that they addressed this with the remake, including an entire new upper floor for the Shinra building, which, according to the remake's co-director Naoki Hamaguchi, adds a, quote, "climax that was not in the original." From someone who's never played a Final Fantasy game but has been looking forward to this remake, aside from the fact that I'm going to have to spend a lot more money purchasing the individual episodes, I'm actually very happy that it's episodic. I tend to get intimidated by the sheer size and time commitment of most JRPGs, and it feels a lot more realistic for me to sink my teeth into the FF7 remake and actually finish it episode by episode. And based on what Nick said about that demo available on the PlayStation Store, the sheer level of production value is astounding, making the game feel the way you remember it back in the day. What do you think though? Is it a cash grab to break it up, or realistic and lets fans and new fans alike savor all the details? Let me know in the comments. If you were sick of having your knife break in Resident Evil 2 Remake, well, perhaps Resident Evil 3 Remake will be only a slightly bit easier for you because the knife in the Resident Evil 3 Remake will be indestructible. Capcom made the change to make sure that players always have something to fall back on, even after emptying their inventory of absolutely everything else. Producer Peter Fabiano told Game Informer, quote, "The director always wanted to make it so that you at least have your trusty knife. That's always something you can rely on." He added that this is survival horror, so pretty much everything else you carry in this game, ammo, health, everything, is exhaustible. Everything except that knife, that is. The knife is a fallback against Resident Evil 3's lowliest foes, most likely, but making it so it doesn't break after a handful of uses unlocks the potential of knife-only runs. Very cool stuff. Because when I'm going up against a massive Hulk zombie with a flamethrower, always good to know I got my handy-dandy knife.
It's me, Mario!
Yes, Mario. It's you, and that's the whole problem. Sony is reportedly pulling a Super Mario creation from Dreams after Nintendo issued a complaint about it, according to a news report from Go Nintendo. Dreams player Piece of Craft hopped on Twitter to talk about the creation, claiming the Super Mario model has been taken down. Piece of Craft tweeted, quote, "We flew too close to the sun, boys." Piece of Craft added that they received an email from Sony Interactive Entertainment Europe stating that Nintendo had issued a complaint about their IP being used in a Sony game. Before being removed, Piece of Craft's Mario model was made available for other players to use in their own Dreams creations, and it's not clear if those creations will be impacted by Sony's decision. This is so dicey. I mean, you never want to hear about a big corporation swooping in and telling small guys to GTFO, especially when it's Nintendo. But at the same time, I get there's a certain gray area of completely recreating somebody else's IP in Dreams, and that being a problem. So yeah, it's a tough one. And that was your Daily Fix. I'm Sydney Goodman, and I hope your day is as awesome as you are. Now that you're all caught up on the news, why don't you check out our review of Half-Life Alyx? Download the IGN app on all your mobile devices, subscribe to the Daily Fix on Snapchat, and for all things everything else, IGN.com.